Okay, good morning. June 7th, 2021. This is pre-market. And really, we're going to make this a nice short and sweet video for you because there's not a whole lot going on. I mean, I could go through and I could, restate everything that I state every day about how the Federal Reserve is destroying the dollar and that's why the stock market keeps going up and, their whole big plan for how they're going to do this. But it's really just a continuation. So everything that I'm going to say here is it's kind of like repetition, but to learn you need to repeat and you need to repeat, and eventually it gets drilled into your head, and every time you look at something you say, okay, that's this mechanism, that's that mechanism, that's why that's happening, that's why this is happening. Okay, and so let's start with stock futures. I mean, higher across the board. I mean, the Nasdaq is flat, but Dow is zero point 0.2 higher, and if you follow someone like Greg Manarino, you know that the right sectors to be in right now are the banking sector and the energy sector. Oil is under a slight bit of pressure, but banks like JP Morgan are higher by about 0.5% pre-market today. So those are the kind of spots, along with gold and silver, that I'm in right now. At least not exclusively, but that's where I'm weighted. So, why are the banks really like the place to be? Well, it's because they have such large bets on crude oil. There was an article that came out a couple of months ago talking about how the banks have trillions of dollars in leveraged bets on crude oil. And when crude oil is rising this fast, and when you watch crude oil like I have for years now, and you see how they prop it up constantly without any consideration for, I don't know, maybe the lives of other people, you understand that that it won't stop, and these are the opportunities in this environment. So yeah, I mean, but nothing really, no knee jerks anywhere. Dollar flat. Gold and silver. Silver's lower by zero point 0.8, gold basically flat. I mean, but markets across the board more or less flat. S&P 500 flat, I guess, almost zero point 0.1 up. So what am I watching for this day? I mean, news-wise, I'll go on Market Watch. I'll watch my stuff, and we have the 10-year slightly higher. But other than that, I'm just watching for technical stuff. Like, is the dollar going to go back below 90 today? Because it's really just a matter of time in terms of the dollar. It's not like you need some event to come and be like, oh, okay, now the dollar should go below 90. I mean, maybe that's what would happen, but the trend is lower, and every single day the Federal Reserve is printing billions and billions of dollars. Every second they're printing millions and billions of dollars, pretty much. So the trajectory is just down, and whether that happens off of any real news or not is not really my concern. I just bet on the trend, and so I mean, this is the kind of morning where people are like, oh, well, nothing's happening, so why can't we get a correction to fair value or something? It's like, why can't we, have some normal market movement? There's no such thing, really in this environment. I mean, the Dow at 3 a.m. was down 150 points lower than it is now. Of course that got bought up. Why? Who knows? Well, it's because they bought it up, whoever you want to call they. They want to own everything, and so they print money and they buy things. And this is why the stock market's not allowed to fall right now. Now, of course, the time will come when they convert the stock market assets into other assets. And this is what I wanted to get to crypto-wise. So we had Goldman Sachs coming out and say, Goldman chart reveals what hedge fund investment chiefs really think about Bitcoin. And of course, they all hate it. They don't want anything to do with Bitcoin. Let me let you in on another fact. The same people being surveyed in these things are buying Bitcoin. Investment banks, hedge funds, blah, blah, blah. They're all buying Bitcoin. Okay? They're all buying cryptocurrencies. So this, you will be distracted in every single way possible. You need to create your own frame of reference to view this stuff, because if you buy the headline, you will be thrown off course, and you'll just be bounced around like a ping pong ball, and played with by the players in this game, and those that really understand it and know how to play it. So that's about that. The other thing, crypto wise, I mean, we're rising across the board, but especially in the altcoins, not Bitcoin. And I think that's a positive trend. On my Twitter it was earlier this year, I said I could expect the Bitcoin dominance to continue to drop, and that's exactly what has happened to a very substantial amount. And I expect that to continue as well because I see other coins having more utility than Bitcoin in the end game of this stuff. Bitcoin really has that original, cryptocurrency value, and people might think that's not real or it shouldn't be real, but it's a game of confidence. It's a game of what people want to put their value into, and I don't really care that Bitcoin has higher transaction costs or other things that make it less attractive than other cryptocurrencies. I still own it, but I own other things more. It's not my biggest position, although I think it is my second biggest position just because I'm a more conservative guy. But, in this last sell-off in crypto, we had the Bitcoin dominance rising again, but now it's dropping again. So this is, I think, a bullish sign for the crypto market. Again, though, we're still in this consolidation phase, although Ethereum is making a good run above 2,800 right now. So, we're going to break it eventually. And, again, nothing big happening in the crypto market. And that's really good. If it really got scared and started dropping more and broke below 30, blah, blah, again, I would be reevaluating. I'd probably be buying more. But that's not what I want to happen. That's not what I expect to happen. I expect it to break out of this range and start a new run higher here. And honestly, the longer it consolidates here, the larger that next run up will be, I think, because it'll give more time to cool off, and then we can really start a big movement to the upside there. All right, I think this has been long enough. Not a lot of news, but just watch the dollar, watch the 10-year today, watch oil, and we'll see how this day ends up. And I think there'll be more to say at the end of it. So have a good one. I will see you at the end. Like and subscribe.